Hi, welcome to Two Tired Teachers.
We are coming at you from Little Bay de Noc. I hope I'm saying that correctly. And I think we're still considered Upper Peninsula of Michigan, long way from Texas. And we are at a National Forest campground here, the National Forest campground here. And I gotta tell you,
It's on Lake Michigan.
and this is just an amazingly beautiful campground. And we're going to talk about the campground, but I just want to tell you, National Forest campgrounds, one of the things we love about these forests, you're obviously going to have trees, but the variety of trees that we've seen at the National Forest that we've stayed at, the campgrounds we've stayed at. So, specifically, we're going to talk about the campground and then some of the things around here. The campground has a number of reservable sites, and it also has a number of first-come sites. And the sites are currently, this is June of 23, and today is gloriously clear because of the fires in Ontario. We've had some overcast and haze, and we've had some rain, not because of the fires. But anyway, the campground has essentially 3 loops. The first loop has sites 1 through 14. Then there are 2 group sites, 15 and 16, and there's also a historic trail off of that little area. Then groups, sites 17 through 29, and then the last loop is 30 through 38, and 38 is the camp host. There are vault toilets
Scattered throughout.
Each camping loop has 1 or 2. And then potable water, and I'll just be honest with you, we looked at the potable water at the first loop and it looked a little bit brown. The second loop looked a little bit brown. Third loop, it looked great, and I did ask the camp host just to make sure. But there is potable water, and this is just gorgeous. A half a mile up the road is the boat ramp.
13 miles down the road is a lighthouse.
And once you turn off Highway 2, we are 6 miles in, and then it's another 13 miles. I think it's 13 miles until the pavement runs out.
Yeah.
It's not pavement runs out. It becomes a gravel road, 1-lane road that has turnouts. And guys, that lighthouse,
It's not a huge lighthouse.
no, but it was so cool because
It was fun.
the only other lighthouse I've been to was on the Oregon coast, and it was definitely a tourist trap.
Yeah.
I mean, you walked, I think it's about a half a mile back, and you're passing gift shops and stuff on the way to the lighthouse, and then they didn't let you go up in the lighthouse, but they had a museum in the bottom. We were the only people there.
Yeah. And Sharon climbed all the way to the top.
It wasn't that high, 2, maybe 3 stories. It wasn't massive, but it was so cool.
If you could insert a picture of what it looked like
Going down those stairs. But yeah, it was so much fun to be the only people out there. And the only information out there, Marlena was scouting that information while I was in the lighthouse,
was about monarch butterflies and the milkweed that grows there that helps sustain them.
So, today being a glorious sunny day, if the lake is calm, you'll be seeing pictures of me out in my kayak.
On Lake
Michigan.
Michigan.
If it's not, I'm not going. I mean, I'm just, I don't need to prove anything to anybody. And I will tell you, I have already stuck my foot in, and it's much colder than the lakes in Texas, which are like bathwater. It's not, I mean, it's doable. But this is a gorgeous campground, and these campsites are the first time I can remember being in a National Forest campground where the campsites are, you could get any combination. These are long sites.
Yes.
Virtually every site.
And there's a lot of room in the site.
We could easily park our RV and van twice in the drive we have here. I've seen people down here that had probably a 35-foot travel trailer, 20-some-odd foot boat, a dually truck, and an SUV. Then in the campsite, they had a tent and a tarp canopy over the picnic table area. And they had room. You know, it wasn't like it was all just jammed in there. These are massive campsites and gorgeous. And like I said, we're at the end of June. And the other thing about these, The ones that are reservable, the camp host is really good about putting the reservation sign on the post a couple of days early. So like last night, there were some people that pulled in. The sites 30 through 38 are actually on the water, but then they don't have foliage between the campsites. So it's just kind of whichever you prefer. But, you know, she had that 2 days from now someone was checking in. Well, somebody that was just here for overnight took that site.
Sure.
And so they are really good about posting those things out. And she said with the 4th of July coming up that
every reservable site is taken.
But, you know, if you're one of those people that you're in the area and you want to check and see, I like the fact that they have a number of first-come sites. And you'll know those because it has a list, and you can take a picture of that list and then see which ones aren't. But on the post for each site, if there's an R, it means it's reservable. If there's not an R, it means it's first come, and you can stay there for up to 14 nights.
And I want to make a note for our friends down south. It is light here until after 10 o'clock at night. It's still...
And daybreak is around 4:30.
Yeah, they have a short night.
But our friends, it's been 100 and whatever at home. And,
yes.
On the days that it's been really cloudy and rainy, you know, I just texted my friends and said, I didn't bring enough long pants. It's been chilly. We've gotten down in the lower 50s, I think, and the high in the 70s. There are a few days where the high's in the 60s something. So, yeah.
Today we're supposed to hit 80, so I know you'll feel sorry for us if you're from Texas or anywhere.
The end of June. Yeah, the end of June, I've been sleeping under cover and it's felt good. So, this is just absolutely beautiful. And it's a national forest campground. It's laid out so well. It has turns and stuff, so it's not like you're looking straight down just a road. Like the little highway that runs, highway or whatever the road is that goes all the way down to the lighthouse is just kind of a straight shot going all the way down the peninsula. But in the campground here, National Forest Service has done an amazing job. It is gorgeous. And, you know, so far, it's really not been crowded. I mean, I was trying to look to see, there are people down there we can see. If there have been, I think they may have left. But we are not in the camping loop alone. There have been some come and go. Sure. But it is a gorgeous place. And if you're ever up in this area, you want to stop in and see this. And if you're not from Michigan, especially we spent one night on Lake Huron because we've never seen a Great Lake before. And we wanted to see several of them. We're going to Lake Superior next. But one of the staples up here, one of the foods that they have, it's a pasty. Okay, part of the adventure of RV travel is trying local cuisine. And we are in Upper Peninsula, Michigan. We went over to St. Ignace, I believe it was, and are driving back across to Little Bay de Noc. And kept seeing all these signs, and Mylene had read a book and knew that they were pasties are bread or meat pies, sort of like a fried from the South, fried pies with, you know, hot. And so this is a meat and potato, and we got it at a market that has a deli here, and I did not know, so I asked, do I need the gravy? And since this is a meat and potato pie, they have different flavors. A couple of the people around me that I asked said they prefer it with gravy. So, I have no idea how to get into this, so I'm going to pause you for a second. Okay, I really don't know how to eat this. So I got a little bit of crust off. It looks sort of like a pot pie. You can see there's beef and potato in there. I do think gravy will be good. Here we go. That was really good. I'm a fan. I'm a big fan. Okay. These are really good. They come in different flavors. This particular, it's a grocery store with a deli, and they have different flavors they feature every day, but this is a good choice. It's sort of like a pot pie. Mylena said that looks sort of like it, except it's real thick. It's sort of like roasting potatoes cooked in a crock pot, but stuck in a fried pie. It is delicious. So these folks up here, no, they may have never eaten grits or fried okra or real cornbread, but by golly, they're onto something. You know, that's part of travel, is we bought a little cheese while we were in Wisconsin. So that's just part of it. You sample what's available. So, once again, back to this campground. It's beautiful. With her pass, it was just $11 instead of the $22. But you are dry camping here. But man, it is worth it. It is so worth it.
Yes.
And beautiful, large campsites on Lake Michigan. We hope you enjoyed our look at Little Bay de Noc. Thanks for watching Two Tired Teachers.